Hey, Hydrow, what's going on? My name is Owen. Welcome back. I thank you so very much for joining me on the mat. We're here in Boston, and it's a fairly hospitable day. Great day for some yoga. We're here at CRI. You can see the beautiful racing shells behind me. And today we have 15 minutes. We're doing a restorative practice, and the focus is on twisting. We're going to open up the hips as well. So a couple blocks might be useful. Let's get into it in a child's pose. So we'll come down to the shins. And then starting to let the whole body get nice and heavy, so the hips will heavy down and back towards your heels as you reach the arms forward. Let the upper body get heavy. So options here, you could have the knees in a little bit closer, and then you can support the basket of your ribs. But for some of you, and this is going to be a bit more of a hip opening, if you like, you can take the legs out a little bit wider, and then your rib cage can drop in between them. And the forehead is heavy. If it doesn't quite touch the floor, then you might grab a block and just support the forehead in that way. And then we start to fill the shape with breath. So just feel, as you take a slightly deeper, fuller breath in, how the rib cage expands, the back body. And as you exhale, find that heaviness, that release down. A few more rounds of breath. And what's nice is you really only have to breathe and just occasionally remember that you're breathing. And if you do that, then you are practicing yoga. Just as you are. One last very full breath in. And then let it go. Meet me in a tabletop. It's all fours. Hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. And just some gentle cat-cows to open the spine. Inhale, cow pose, heart forward. Exhale, this cat, round the spine, press the floor down. Just following the breath. And you can notice in the hips here that as you come forward and you arch for cow, there's a little lift of the tailbone. You can pause there, feel that. And then as you round, slight tuck of the tailbone down as you draw the belly in. So maybe just to focus on that as you move through a few more rounds cat-cow. Two more cycles of breath. Last round. So as with all of my restorative practices, you know, the rule is if something feels good and you want to linger, please feel free. You can tune me out. It's very easily done. Feel free to take the hands forward just a few inches, tuck your toes under, shift your hips back, and pause here just for a moment, and then you can rock the weight a little bit left and right. This is a good opening for the bottoms of the feet. This is an area where we maybe don't show as much love as we could. If you found movement, just find stillness and then take the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. And then any movement here, so pedal feet. Might ground down through one heel and then bend the opposite knee deeply. Shake out the head, relax the jaw, and then find stillness. When you're down dog, there's a little feeling like a cow pose in the pelvis, so a little bit of anterior tilt, the tailbone moves up just slightly. Just want you to feel a lot of space from those outer hips lifting up and back, the palms pressing down and forward. And then bring your gaze towards your thumbs. Rise high to the balls, the feet bend the knees deeply, and we'll take a walk up to a forward fold, the top of the mat. Feet can remain hips width. If you want to measure, that's about 2 fists. In between inner arches, and we'll take ragdoll. So reaching for opposite elbows. I want you to really just let the upper body be heavy. Crown of the skull straight down towards the floor. You can pull down on the outer arms to really accentuate that heaviness, that letting go. And the knees stay soft. And the ribs can, over time, start to drape over the thighs. Again, relax the jaw, soften the face. We'll take one more full breath in. And exhale, hands down towards the floor. Stay in your fold. Keep your left knee bent. I want to do this. I'm breaking my own brain. We're going to keep the left knee bent. Left hand plant center of the mat. Inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling. Sometimes yoga brain comes for me as I'm teaching yoga, right? So folded twist. Right leg can straighten to any degree. You're turning, and there's a little back bend in the upper back as well. And then just fold down through center. Second side, so right hand center of the mat, and if it doesn't quite reach, right, you can take a block or come to tented fingertips, bend the right knee. It's that left arm that reaches up high. And pause here. Little back bend in the upper back. And then fold through center. We'll go one more time each side. Inhale, left hand plants, right arm high. And then exhale, fold through center. Bend the right knee. Inhale, sweep that left arm up. And exhale, fold through center. All right, take your feet out a little bit wider and go heels in, toes out. We're coming into a squat pose. So you know it, maybe you love it. Hands can come to heart center. So I want to encourage you here, if squat is something that you're working on, grab a block, grab 2 blocks underneath the seat. If the heels are lifting in your squat, then what can be nice is to take a blanket or a towel and just roll that up and place it under the heels so that you do have something to press down into. Right? And squat pose is something that over time you can really work to get a little more ease in, a little more access to. And if squat pose is, very, very easy for you, then what I'll encourage you to do here, instead of just dumping into the pose, is to just press the feet down and lift the hips up maybe 1/2 inch. And press your elbows into your inner legs, and the inner legs, they press back into the elbows. So there's this lifting in the chest, the shoulders stay soft. And if it would feel good, a little rocking left and right, and just to open up some space. And then just stay for one more breath in. And you'll straighten through the legs on the breath out. Toe heel the feet in a little bit closer, say that hips width distance. And breathe in, look forward, long spine. And plant your hands and then step back. Drop the knees, come all the way down onto your belly. And we will find a Sphinx pose here. So for Sphinx, up on the forearms, you can untuck the toes. Elbows are just ahead of your shoulders. And press the floor down. And then drag the arms back in towards you to feed the heart forward. I always like to offer a neck release here. So if you would like that, you can dip your left ear to your left shoulder and your chin down to your chest. Your right ear, right shoulder. And then back and forth. Try to notice where the attention to the breath went, and can you just always be in the process of catching the next breath in. Right, especially as thoughts bubble up. Right, you don't have to attend to those right now. You can just notice when they're occurring and just come back to the breath. You pause with your head in center, and then take your right leg open to a half frog. So look up here if that made no sense to you, right? So the knee bends, the leg is out towards the side, and the right foot's flexed. And just pull forward. Again, find that nice long Sphinx pose in the upper body. And then straighten through your right arm. Reach your left arm underneath you and towards the right. Now from here, the left hand will grab for that right leg, and then you'll keep that as you open up into a twist. So turning the upper body open, right shoulder heavy. It's okay if that right leg lifts, don't worry about it. But just try to find this nice twist in the upper body. And if you'd like here, take your left hand towards the back of the skull and just assist the head to turn towards the right, bringing the neck into the twist as you gaze out over your outstretched right arm. We'll say one more breath in. And let your exhale start to bring you back. And come back to your Sphinx pose, both legs long. And then just the second side of that. So left leg out into a half frog. You bend the knee, you can flex the foot. Just a moment here. This can be a nice stretch in and of itself, right? So you might linger for a little bit longer. When you're ready to come into the twist, you can press into that left hand to straighten the left arm, and that right arm will reach underneath and towards the left. And the right hand will pin down that left leg as you start to turn your way all the way onto your back. This might be a very different experience on the second side, right? And that's okay. Option here to press into the back of your skull so that you can lift the upper back enough to move right shoulder blade to the right and left to the left. So we're really thinking about the upper back being broad and heavy and grounding down. And then if you liked it on the first side, you can take that right hand to the back of your skull and just gently assist the head to turn, dropping your gaze out over that outstretched left arm. Every inhale, really feel some space through the rib cage. And every exhale, there's that letting go, there's that softening down. And you'll take one more breath in. And your exhale will bring you through center. Coming through that Sphinx pose one more time. To your crocodile, make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead down. And breathe into your back body. And this can be a fine place to spend your last few moments here. If you'd like, I'll offer one more shape. You just flop onto your back like a pancake. This is where you might use your blocks. Bringing the feet all the way to touch and the knees out wide for a bound angle. The blocks are nice to support the legs here if you like. Arms can rest wherever they want to rest. Soft gaze or invite the eyes to close. And then together we'll just take one last very full breath in and fill all the way up and pause at the very top. And then sip in any amount more and hold that as well. Soften around it. And then open your mouth and let it go. The body be heavy and release any effort. And just rest. have more time to spend here, I encourage you to do so. When you're ready to move on, if you're in bound angle, just bring the hands to the legs, help them to close, compress your way off to one side, and then up into any comfortable seat. Sit well, sit tall. A final breath together. Through the nose, take a full breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. My name's Owen. I thank you so very much, as always, for sharing your practice with me, and I will see you on the next one.